YouTube? It's your boy Mark Ryder. You're watching Cosmic Rider TV. Thank you for tuning in. Please hit the like and subscribe button. I'll love you for it. So today we're going to talk about drag queens performing in schools to toddlers and infants. Trigger warning, yeah? This is pretty disturbing, and it's a very controversial topic. So yeah, let's just get into it.
Why are these performances unacceptable?
Firstly, for the people that say, oh, the babies don't even know what's going on, if you actually look on the website, it's an organisation specifically targeted at babies. For something to be baby sensory, you are obviously going to curate, as they've said, the activities to children. The question is, why do men and women wearing barely any clothing, wearing nipple tassels, wearing bondage gear and stripper heels and thongs need to be performing for children?
Cost of living.
Sorry.
Why would you?
Wow, so that was Dominique Samuels that was just talking there, and she's basically saying, why should men? For what reason? Why would a grown man put nipple tassels on his nipples and thongs to go and perform in front of kids? And you heard the blonde lady, Amy Nichols, say cost of living. Did I hear right? Did she just say cost of living? So of all the hustles out there, of all the cutbacks you can make, of all the strategies you could use to manage your money, as a grown man, you would choose to go and put on a thong and go and dance in front of infants for some cash. Wow, man, I must be living in the Twilight Zone.
To do that. These are hyper-sexualised environments, and this has got nothing to do with being anti-LGBT.
Yeah.
In fact, it's actually pretty homophobic to suggest that hyper-sexualised themes and caricatures of women through drag acts need to constantly be associated with being gay. That's incorrect.
Amy, can I just say, if I had no money to my name whatsoever, there is a pretty straightforward reason why I wouldn't put a thong on and dance in front of children, and that's because I think that might make me look like a paedophile.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
No, it's not.
That you could actually correlate drag queens to paedophilia. That's what you just did.
Gyrating in front of babies.
A man in a thong.
Gyrating in front of a baby.
And this, no, but this is the thing
Well,
with
of course you can correlate that with paedophilia. Of course it corresponds with paedophilia to some extent. It's men sexualizing themselves in front of children, grown men and women. You know, I'm quite new to this. Do you agree with this? Would you want your children in this environment? How would you feel about a man exposing his buttocks and genitalia to your young infant child? Now, I understand that to kids it's fun, that it's colourful, it's all animated. You know, it's going to be a fun environment for them. But really, how is this going to benefit the psychological development of a child? How is this going to... Where's the educational value in this? I struggle to see it. How is this going to improve a child's understanding of the world? Personally, I feel it's going to cause more confusion. But let's carry on.
with drag culture. So it's perfectly fine, it's fun. I've been to those sorts of events myself, but these are adult environments that they belong in. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of drag queens would feel extremely uncomfortable with being virtually naked in a thong, dancing for toddlers,
do you not take,
Amy.
right, so I refute how hypersexualised that, those 5-second clips can give the impression.
We've seen more, it's
but
very sexualised.
on the whole, drag queens working with children in the UK are all completely DBS checks, do a child
DBS check means you've not been caught.
Okay, well then,
so that's a DBS check is nonsense.
I think if there was one example of a drag queen grooming a child for sex, then you might have a leg to stand on with this. But there are 90% of child abuse cases
in America,
are
there was a registered
with
sex
parents
offender
and people that live in their house.
Let's just cut to the chase. I'm a father of 3 children. If anyone took my kids to see that sort of show...
It's not compulsory, Adam.
I would string them up, right? That is disgusting.
To you?
It's perverted. It's depraved.
In your opinion?
No. Would you take your child to that?
Firstly, that's for babies, so it's basically more for the parents. So I remember when my son was
Would you take your child to that?
So
the local cinema used to do
One second.
can I answer your question?
Would you take your child to that show?
Any sexualisation of that would go completely over the baby's head, and they would see colours, makeup, and fun, and hear the music.
So can I give you an example? Anyone that takes their child to that needs their hard drive checked. You know, it's perverted and depraved.
Yes. Adam Brooks, I fully agree with you. I fully agree with you, man. It is extremely perverted, and it's very, very provocative. I mean, in a minute, we're going to have a look at some footage from the school, and it looks like a strip club. It looks like some type of BDSM. I don't know what's going on here, but it's pretty disturbing. It's disturbing, man. This Amy Nichols, it's quite concerning that there's parents like that out there. That she doesn't seem to understand the gravity of the situation, and this can only get worse. This is only going to get worse. Very, very disturbing. But I totally agree. Anyone that sort of promotes this kind of stuff needs their hard drive seized. It's true what he's saying.
It's completely legal. There's nothing illegal going on. The thing is, personal choice.
We don't know.
In your opinion,
we don't know actually if it's completely legal, because there are some real safeguarding concerns in
we're
those
seeing
environments.
it now. Sorry to interrupt you, but this is what we're looking at now. So it's a man upside down with a leopard print thong on,
which you might see on the beach.
Bum out. I'm pretty sure you can see something.
A beach, and that is not comparable. Don't be so ridiculous.
How is it not comparable?
Toddlers, though.
Number one, they're paid.
What are you scared of? What do you think is going to happen to these babies?
Number one, their parents are paid to be there. And number two...
took place in Lewisham in South London. Hundreds of people in the street in Lewisham demanding that drag queens should continue to have the right to go into our schools to teach youngsters about their view of life. Now look, we're tolerant about all sorts of human beings, but there is a question as to what is appropriate to be taught to 11 and 12-year-olds. Well, on the Isle of Man, this issue has come to a head in quite a big way over the course of the last few days at the Queen Elizabeth II High School in Peel. And a drag queen appeared there and spoke to 11 and 12-year-olds. And it now seems that parents are standing up and saying they are not prepared to put up with this. Let's find out more by going now straight to the Isle of Man. And I'm going to be joined by Matthew Cheetham, who is a parent at the QE2 school, and I'm going to be joined by Liza Cox, Vice Chair of the Maroon, if I pronounce that correctly, Commissioners, a form of local government on the island. Good evening to both of you. Thank you for coming on the programme. We really want a proper explanation of this, and I'm keen to start, Matthew, with you. You had a child that was put in front of this drag queen. What happened that's offended you?
I think it's the fact that they've gone in without the parents being asked, is it okay? This is what we're teaching. This is on or off the curriculum. We're still unsure. And then for a child to basically say, look, there's two genders, and that's what my mum and dad have told me. And then basically to be removed from the class by the teacher as being seen to be as offensive towards the drag queen. Which I think everybody agrees it's not right at all.
Instead of 72 genders.
They're quick to say we offend them, but then when they clearly have offended the adults and the children, it seems they get punished for this. Where we're trying to bring up a level of trust with the children, it's not there.
I mean, that's astonishing. For a child of that age to be thrown out of a class for saying, Mum and Dad have taught me there are two genders. And I understand the drag queen taught these children that there are 73 different genders, which I think at 11 years old must be somewhat confusing. And even, I understand, Matthew, some fairly graphic accounts of skin grafts.
Yeah, so essentially there was the year 7, so 10, 11, 12-year-olds, they're being separated into 3 groups. One was to go to the drag queen. The other was to go with, it was a girl at the time. She's gone into the classroom with 5 boys. She didn't really know them, quite a strange group to put together. And they were basically given a sexual toy, so to speak, and shown how to put a condom on. And then the other team or the other group were then shown on one of the teachers' phones how to take a skin graft from an arm.
So you hear what they're teaching the children. They're teaching the children that there are 73, different genders. They're teaching the children that there's 73 different genders. And they're not even notifying the parents that this type of education is on the curriculum. So the parents are not even aware that their children are being taught these things, and their kids are being exposed to these things. On top of that, their kids are being left with grown men with sexual paraphernalia to show the children how to use them.
For a girl, and then to create a penis with it.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That's all a bit much, isn't it? Yes, I have to say, I can understand, Matthew, why you are upset. I really can. Eliza Cox, it seems that Matthew is far from alone, and that a lot of parents have objected to what's happening, and there is a current suspension of these activities within the school. Is this something, I mean, you're involved there with local government, is this something that you think the government of the island are going to do something about?
Yes, I do. We have a couple of really fantastic MHKs, is what we call them over here, Minister of House of Keys. And as soon as they heard that this was happening, they stopped it straight away. They wanted to investigate it fully so they know exactly what's going on and what is happening. And they are doing everything in their power to make sure that this doesn't happen again. You know, and kind of like we welcome the report that they're doing at the moment, and we really look forward to seeing it.
Well, it just goes to show, doesn't it, that when parents actually do, and they're not frightened, and they take a principled stand, you know, and they get together, they can be effective. But Eliza, let me just ask you, how on earth did this, and I think it is poison, frankly, to expose 10, 11, 12-year-olds to this, how did this ever happen in the first place on a place like the Isle of Man?
I don't know, Nigel. This is what the independent review will find out for us, how this actually happened. You know, there was obviously miscommunication along the line, and the independent review will obviously open that up and let us know what happened.
Yeah, so that was quite an eye-opener. I didn't realise it's such a big thing in the UK. I haven't really heard of it happening in London or anyone that I know experiencing this, but very, very disturbing stuff. The way this world's going is shocking. It's shocking. And you can't really say anything. You have to be careful when you speak out about these things, because, you know, it's very easy to get cancelled, you know, and it can be misconstrued as a hate crime. You can't really speak out too much on these things. So, but it's good that there are people out there shedding light on it and raising the issue. It's good that we are able to sit and discuss these things and debate. So yeah, that's about it for today. Peace.